Good day, everyone. We are now going to present our evaluation for Jumpstart, how to start your own business amidst the pandemic. And here is a time lapse of the event.
So now we're going to introduce ourselves. So I am Sarah Nicole Abatayo, the events manager of Jumpstart, and this is Bianca.
And I am Bianca Buenaventura, the assistant event manager of this event.
So I'm going to present the fourth implementation or the evaluation tool that we used after the event. The first question is, the event met my expectation. 88.9% or 24 participants rated the event 4, and 11.1% or 3 of the participants rated it 3.
And for question number 2, adequate time was provided for the discussion forum, with 4 being the highest. 85.2% of the participants suggested that we provided the adequate time for the event. And 4 respondents responded that somehow the adequate time was provided for the discussion forum. Next.
Number 3, the platform used was effective and appropriate for the activity, with the 4 being the highest. 88.9% of the respondents, or 24 respondents, rated it 4, while the other 3, or 11.1% of the respondents, rated it 3.
And for number 4, the event had started and ended on time, with 4 being the highest again. 22 participants said that the event started and ended on time. 4 suggested that it somehow started and ended on time, and 1 participant suggested that the event didn't start and end on time.
Last question is, the event encouraged me to start my own business. With 4 being the highest, 22 participants, or 81.5% of the participants, rated it 4, meaning that the event really encouraged them to start their own business, while the other 5, or 18.5% of the participants, rated it somehow the event encouraged them to start their own business. So now we're going to discuss the fifth implementation, or the project evaluation.
Okay. So for the first problem is the unorganization during the event. The causes are lack of preparation and lack of communication due to the time constraints. The recommended or proposed recommendation for the problem is more event dry runs before the actual event. And second is constant communication between committees can solve this problem. The advantages of this, it can make the event more organized and formal. Lastly, this change can make the event more professional. And for the disadvantages, dry runs could take a lot of time and it could be time consuming.
The next is lack of time for discussion. The cause could be technical difficulties during the event caused the speakers to use so much time on dealing with their connection issues instead of talking. Recommendation or proposed recommendation is asking the speakers to have a backup internet connection if their main connection is having problems. The advantage of this recommendation is that this could ensure that the event will run smoothly. Disadvantages: Mobile data is an extra cost for the speakers.
The problem is the small platform. The cost is lack of monetary resources, and the proposed recommendation would be using a more accessible platform like Zoom. And the advantage is it can allow more viewers to attend the event, and the disadvantage would be it could cost more monetary funds.
And for our number four problem, it is lack of time management. The cause of it is failure to maximize time on games, etc., cause us to end the event late. Our recommendation to this problem is reminding the speakers their time is 10 minutes, their time 10 minutes before it ends. Advantages can make the event start and end on time. And the disadvantage of that recommendation, it can distract the speaker during his or her talk.
Lastly, the problem is more encouraged. Ay, problem ba?
Problem.
Hindi ko na sabihin na problem. Lastly, more encouraging topics to encourage more participants to start their own business. Causes is the lack of resource speaker and lack of interesting topics. And the recommendation would be having more speakers with experience on starting their own business. That would let them share about their success stories. The advantages are can encourage more attendees to start their own business and can make the webinar more interesting. The disadvantage would be more time should be allotted for the event.
So that is our fifth implementation. So our reflection. So as the events manager, I still deem the event successful kahit um, maraming technical difficulties dahil we have a lot of participants that got encouraged to start their own business this pandemic. And I think that is the main goal of the event, and we have met that goal. Next is si Bianca.
And in my opinion, I also deem the event successful kasi regardless of how short yung time namin or yung time constraints, still maganda naman yung kinalabasan ng evaluation form. At the same time, we saw our participants rather that they're interested in starting their own business as well as us who created and proposed the event. Yes.
Ayun, yun lang po. Thank you po.
Thank you po.